Using your gut it's not a system, it's a feeling. So how are you going to scale your coaching business based on feelings? I mean, it's not going to work. You're limited by how many people you can connect with using your gut feelings. Now, I've spoken with so many coaches about how to scale their businesses, and specifically by using a book. And when I ask them if they have a system, they give me this vague answer, which usually revolves around using their gut, or my favorite, kinda. But vagueness is hard to sell and easy for potential clients to turn down because their prospects depend on your gut or your intuition. So today you're going to get some clarity so you can stop trying to sell yourself and start selling the results your proven system gets. My name is Fortune, and I'm the author of 3 books and a self-publishing strategist. I help established coaches and consultants write a signature book and use that book to grow their businesses. I've created a proprietary method of getting your book out of your head in less than 4 hours using a phone and a few websites. This show teaches you how to do that and build a sales funnel to turn your book readers into clients and customers. So I have a free download in the description that will take you through the 3 steps you need to design your signature system. We're going to go over them in this video and help you create a clear journey your customers will gladly pay you to help them with. You will use some aspect of your signature system that we're going to work on today in all aspects of your marketing, especially in your book, because the first section of your book shares your story, the problem, and your solution. The second section covers your signature system, or at least some framework from it. See, you can't write a book to get more clients if you can't define a clear path for your clients to follow. So my mentor interviewed me for his version of the Meet the Experts. At the beginning of the call, he asked me if I had slides or anything I wanted to use. I said, no. Partly because I know my material, but mainly because I teach from frameworks I built. I taught 2 concepts and a framework as we went through the rest of the call. People were saying things like, thank you for clearing up things for me, and I felt stuck before this call, but now I feel like I can do it. And your frameworks make it seem easy. Then they asked me how much I charge for my services, and I hadn't even pitched them yet. They beat me to my pitch. And this is the power of a signature system. You could not have sold, I'll work with you in my gut and tell you how I'm going to help you. People have 3 main objections. 1, will this work for me? 2, can I do this? And 3, what will stop me from getting results? And a well-designed signature system overcomes all 3 objections. So let's talk about the 3 big ideas you can use today to start mapping out your signature system and stop working strictly from your gut. The 3 big ideas are to define, design, and sell. First, you want to define your signature system based on your particular methods and what you have found it takes to help people succeed. There are 3 parts: a sweet spot, identify the steps, and group. So now I'm going to go to my pad to kind of illustrate some of the things that we are working on here. First, we're talking about the sweet spot. Now, the sweet spot is the intersection of 3 things. You have, let's see if we can get some good circles on here. Excellent. The sweet spot is going to be this intersection of all 3 areas here. All right. 1 is things that you like, things you're good at, the things you get paid for. Okay, so things that you like and you get paid for, we're going to call those your vocation. Things that you like and you're good at but you do not get paid for, these are called your hobbies. Things that you are good at but you are also get paid at is going to be your job. Yes, there are some people in the world who are not good at their job and they're getting paid for it, but that is in the minority. Most people are good at their job to some level enough to get paid for it. So something you're good at and you get paid for is your job. The sweet spot is the intersection of all three of those, and that's what we're trying to find. Okay, so the reason why we're starting here is so that you find something that you want to keep doing. If you are in a coaching business that you do not like, you will get tired of the people you're working with. So you don't want to build a business around something that you don't like. If you're building a coaching business that you're not good at, why would you do that? That just doesn't make any sense. I don't want to, why would you have people pay you to do something that you're not good at doing? That just doesn't seem ethical or moral. Don't do that, okay? And if you're not getting paid to be coaching, you know, you can do that if you want to, but you know, the point of this business is, the point of this channel is to get paid for business. So let's make sure you get paid for something you like and you're good at doing. Okay, that is a sweet spot. The next thing you need to do here is to identify. Now, when we're talking about identifying the steps here, here's the simple process I want you to do. You're gonna map out where you are taking people to. So on this end, we are talking about where someone is now, the pain that they're in. Okay? At this end, we're talking about where they are later, like after working with you, and this is now the pain is gone. So this is happy or pain-free or whatever it may be. You want to label that. In between these steps, between these 2 points are steps that you're going to take them on. You have to define what those steps are. One of the ways that you can do this is to look at your own results in your life, in the area that you're trying to help people with, that sweet spot you're trying to help people get to. Most of the time, the coaches I work with are taking people through a process they've already been through, or something that they have a skill they've learned and they really, really enjoy doing. So they know what it takes to go from here to here. The problem is they haven't defined what each of these steps are clearly. Once you define what each one of those steps are clearly, now you can show someone exactly how to get from this pain they're in right now to this happy result they're going to get here in the end. So that's what you want to do. Next is identify your steps. Now, the process of doing that might be brain dumping all the things that you help someone go through, all the steps that you may help someone do, and then you want to put them into groups, which is your next step. Okay, the next step here is to put them into groups. Now, why would you group them? Because you might have 12 steps up here as you identify the process up here in this process here. You might have 12 steps that you've identified. No one wants to go through 12 steps. At least they don't want you to tell them they're going to go through 12 steps. So what you want to do is like maybe group these three. Let me do a different color. Group these three, and then group that one. So now you have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Does that make sense? Because you need to put them in a logical sequence of how they're going to go from the beginning, from where they are now to where you want them to be, or where they want to be, I should say. Better, more importantly, where they want to be. You want to group them. So as you group them, I suggest using what we call a genius model. A genius model. It's very simple model, and it's kind of like what we already did already. I'm gonna draw 3 more circles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, for my book strategy, for my signature book formula, here are the 3 parts. We have write, edit, profit. Now, for me, the steps they're going to take everyone through, yeah, one step is going to be the setup. I have a setup step that's outside of the whole framework. Then I start off with intention. Now, intention is part of the profit area, so I'll put it down here. Then we're gonna have to gather the information. I know I'm writing sloppy, but just listen to words. gather the information. Then we're going to narrow down your topics and your ideas. And then we're going to author the book. So we're going to start writing there. In the edit section, we're going to touch up, which is the initial editing portion of it. We're going to make it unique by going through and updating your chapter titles and putting different the cover and creating the title to the book, solidifying what that actually is, your subtitle for the book, and try to get your rough draft of your book description, okay? All in the unique section. Then we go into the review section. So we're in a review, we're getting everything to our editors to clean up the entire book. Next, we go into the exhibit. Exhibit is about putting your book on display for people to purchase. So you're going to create your sales pages, upload to whatever platform you want to put this on, whether that's Kindle or Barnes and Nobles or whatever platform you want to put that on. There's several platforms you can put your book out there on, okay? Including your own website. Then we have the last step here is book. And in the book section here, the book portion, you're booking clients, you're getting booked on stages, you're selling your book, you're constantly promoting your book. That's what we're doing here in the final step. So do you see how simple it is to look at this process and say, oh, I can teach my entire framework directly from this process. I gathered all 10 steps I had, including this setup step out here on the outside, but all 9 steps. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are my 10 steps, and I've grouped them based on write, edit, and profit. Look at how clear that is on showing you how to get results and how to write your book and start profiting from your book. Now, breaking down those steps even further is what you do with your implement with your client. But see, by grouping them, it makes it easier to teach someone. We're going to write, we're going to edit, and profit. Those are the 3 steps, the 3 phases of the signature book formula. Very simple. You want to do the same thing for these steps that you identified in the last step, okay? There we go. Now, that is the define portion of creating your signature system. Next, we move into the design step. Notice I'm using the similar process. I'm giving you 3 phases or 3 big ideas, and then there's only 3 steps inside of each one of these phases, okay? So the next phase is design. This is, you're going to design a simple recipe that churns out consistent results like a machine. Like, this is where you really get into defining what your your signature system is going to look like. So in the next step here, I'm going to draw a little line here. After you've grouped everything, what I want you to do then is to name it. Now, there are all types of ways to name your book or name your signature system. I like to use the word formula, because you'll see formula all over the things that I have created. Often you'll see system. A lot of people like using blueprint. You can use a whole slew of names on the back side of your signature system. The front end, I want you to keep it simple. Don't try to do anything that makes it really hard for people to realize what the result they're going to get. I like for you to tell them exactly what they're going to get. And you might say, like, if you're a parenting coach and you're teaching your clients how to get your babies to bed at night, sleep at night, to sleep through the night. So it might be the sleep better formula. Notice I use formula again. Okay, you don't want to make it complicated. Don't make people guess. Make it super easy for them, like, oh, that's what I'm going to get. Because if they're not speaking to you, you still want them to understand what results they're going to get from working with you. More than one thing you're going to do here. You're going to name the entire system, and the 3 steps for each phase, you're going to name each one of those steps. Keep it super simple. You can look at this document again and see some of the examples that I have used in my own business, and you'll see a pattern here on how I have the 9 steps going up in a row, and each row has its 3 steps in it. It's easy to sell. It's easy for people to understand exactly what results I'm helping them get, and they can look at that and be like, oh, that makes sense. and they all have names for each step. The next part of your design portion of your signature system is to write out the activities and assets that they're going to get. Now, this is not going to go on your document. It's not going to go on the illustration. It's not going to be something they're going to see when you're speaking with them. These activities and assets are how you're helping people get those results. These might be PDFs. It might be checklists. It might be recordings. You could use any number of things that's going to remove the obstacles that people have as they're going through your process. What tools, what other downloads, what other type of kits or packages do you have for each step to help someone get success and achieve the results you're talking about in each step? Because each step is another step in the process, right? So they need to achieve that. And there are some things they might need in order to help them get there. You want to define those things. What activities and assets are you going to give them to help them achieve each step? The final part of your designs process is timelines and titles. Now, I know I talked about naming it and I got a little jump the gun a little bit because we're in the design step. Your titles are going to come in this process. You can name them already or you can do them here. Now, the timelines is really attaching to each step how long you expect to work on that step before someone gets results. So when it comes to my signature book formula, you can go through the entire process in about 10 weeks. In that last 30 days, you will launch the book, and then from there we continue promoting and so on and so forth. That's another phase, another step in the whole process of becoming a wealthy author. The first stage is to write, edit, and publish your signature book. That profit phase goes into an even bigger process of how do I start coaching people? How do I build more courses and all those things coming out of the book? What timelines are you attaching to each step in your process? We did all this work so you can sell a product, to sell a roadmap for your clients to follow and get achievable results. So you want to sell your signature system and grow your customers into qualified clients that rave about your business. And when I say qualified clients, I mean they've gotten some success and they're qualified to then go turn around and tell someone else, yo, you gotta follow Fortune's system. He definitely gets your results. If you want to write a book, he will absolutely help you get there. One of the best ways of doing that is being clear about your USP. That is the next step here, the first step under the sell phase in your signature system. What is your USP? What is your unique selling proposition? What that means is you're going to specifically talk about what we talked about in this video on the XYZ framework. That's what you're going to use as your USP. You want to check out that video here to go ahead and learn how to design your USP using the XYZ framework. I'm not going to go into details here. The long and the short of it is this. I help X do Y by Z. And we'll explain more in the video. Go watch the video after you finish this one. Second step in this phase is retention. In the retention phase, you want to make sure you're continuing to follow up with your clients who have gone through your courses, that have gone through your processes, they've gone through your coaching programs or your consulting, and find out what they need next. Find out how to continue helping them. When you are over delivering on your products, your services, your coaching, your programs, people want to talk about you. They want to stay around you because you are helping them get results. It just makes sense. So there are some things you want to do to intentionally retain your clients. I'll tell you right now, I have more than once bought a product from someone because I didn't get the results or they didn't follow up because after I sent an email to them and they didn't respond to me. I moved on to someone else, someone that was actually going to pay more attention to me. Now, at a certain point, I wasn't speaking specifically to the person who created the program. I might have been speaking to a coach, and that's okay. However, whoever it is, your coaches who are teaching your program or you must respond to your clients. This is part of your retention program, okay? Be intentional about doing that. Try to re-engage them, seeing what they have to do, what they want next. part of your process and your system and having a whole suite of products is understanding what the next step they have is. And maybe you don't solve the next step for them. Maybe you know someone who does, but that still means they're going to keep coming back to you and retain you as their coach because you told them what the next step is. Which takes me to the third step in this process of this phase, which is the evolve. And the evolve portion, this is where you now start adding other products. You might start adding in more books. You might start building other frameworks to use as you create masterminds, or you start building retreats, or you start turning your one-to-one program into a group coaching program. You evolve your system and your processes or your offerings. You're going to learn more. The things that worked 3 years ago are still effective today, probably, but not as effective as what you learn as you work with more clients. So you shift and evolve your system into a better system. That is part of what you need to do all the time. Get better, get more efficient, be excellent. Your signature system will become a thing of beauty. And that's exactly what I want for you, because the more results you get from people, the faster you get them results, the better results you get for them, the more they're going to brag about you, the easier it will be to sell your program. So I want you to use these 3 big ideas, the define, design, and sell, to build a roadmap for your customers that defines a clear path for them to follow. It's going to inspire them to follow that path and then removes the obstacles along the way. That's how you overcome those objections we spoke about in the beginning. Now, I want you to imagine your book. And as I already mentioned, your story, the problem, and your solution are the first section. And this helps them, your readers, to get to know you and what you're about. The signature system you created in this video goes in the second section of your book. Your readers will trust you as an authority because of your framework. And all that's left is to make an offer to work with you. And that's what your third section of your book does. Now, have I convinced you of the importance of designing your signature system? I hope I have, because if you're ready to start mapping out your signature system and you want my 9 steps to help you do it, click the link in the description down below to grab the checklist. It's yours for free for you to start designing your signature system, because I know there's some things that you're going to want to review, and there's some questions to help you go through all 9 of the steps, which are broken into 3 big ideas, right? We broke down today. That being said, you can be, you can do, you can have anything you want in this world. You just got to believe. You can live a life of no doubt, just blessings, and I will show you how. So go out there and make life happen every day. God bless, and always remember, you're only 1 book away. Talk to you next time.